So some of you have an online audio accommodation for the writing SOL, which means that you can select any text on the writing SOL and have the computer read it to you. This video is meant to imitate that accommodation for the TestNav writing SOL practice. And the nice thing about this video is that you feel like you don't need parts of it read to you. You can just skip over those parts of the video. If you feel like you need some parts read to you multiple times, you can just replay those parts of the video. Okay. Passage number 1, Zane's Rough Draft. Dinosaur Diner. Zane's English teacher asked the students to write a personal narrative about something that happened last summer. Zane decides to write about a surprising event that happened during his visit to California. Rough draft. Last summer, my twin brother Zach and I visited our aunt and uncle in California. On the first day of our visit, Aunt Wanda went to work. She told Uncle Hank and us to meet her for lunch before she left, and she seemed excited. To be honest, Zach and I had been hoping to visit some of the famous movie studios we had read about before our trip. Visiting our aunt at her job for lunch did not seem very interesting. At 11:30 a.m. sharp, however, the three of us left the house. "How can you tell which building is Aunt Wanda's?" I asked as we passed block after block of identical warehouses. Uncle Hank agreed that they all looked alike, but he pulled into a parking lot and we went into a building. We climbed a flight of stairs, walked through a heavy metal door, and found Aunt Wanda. As we were talking, Aunt Wanda introduced Zach and me to her boss, a man she called Bill. When Bill asked us if we would like a tour before lunch, Uncle Hank, and Aunt Wanda both smiled as though a warehouse were something special. Zach just smiled, so I said, "Sure, that would be great," though I was still thinking about the movie studios. We walked through a long corridor, down a flight of stairs, and came to a huge garage door, which Bill opened by pushing a button. As the door slid upward and our eyes adjusted to the light, I was surprised. Glaring down at us was a huge Tyrannosaurus Rex with a wide-open mouth. "Meet TJ," Bill said. "He guards the place. Come on," he added, waving his arm at Zach and me. "There's more." By this time, we were wondering if our tour of this amazing warehouse was just a dream. As we walked under TJ's shadow, we came face to face with another T-Rex. The one's head was on the floor and Bill walked right into its open mouth. "Wow," I said, following him and reaching out to touch the sharp teeth. "This looks just like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park," Zach said. Bill said, "Actually, this big T-Rex is from Jurassic Park too. The dinosaurs I made for Jurassic Park are all packed away in crates." "You made the dinosaurs?" Zach and I asked in unison, staring at him. Bill nodded, and then I noticed that stacks and stacks of huge wooden crates against the wall, with fangs, claws, and tails visible through the slats. I suddenly realized who our host was. He was Bill Perry, one of the greatest special effects designers in movie history. After visiting more incredible creatures from our favorite movies, Bill showed us how they were created. First, he demonstrated the moves of an alien creature that he was designing with a computer program. Then we watched his regular special effects team spray layers of plastic onto the aluminum skeleton of a robotic bear. Following that, we toured the model shop where detailed miniature models of spaceships, submarines, and a medieval castle were standing in various stages of completion. Zach and I followed Bill around, speechless with awe. "Enjoy your lunch," Bill said cheerfully as he ushered us into the conference room. "But don't feed the animals," he said with a wink. He switched on the light to reveal a long conference table piled with food. Around this room stood life-size models of every kind of animal that Zach or I could imagine. As we ate out lunch, surrounded by movie monsters, I felt very grateful that my Aunt Wanda works in a movie warehouse. Question number 1. How is sentence 3 best revised for clarity? So let's go back to sentence 3. So this is where Zach and Zane, Zane talks about visiting his aunt and uncle in California, and that on the first day of their visit, Aunt Wanda went to work. She told Uncle Hank and us to meet her for lunch before she left, and she seemed excited. How is sentence 3 best revised for clarity? A. She seemed excited before she left for lunch and told Uncle Hank and us to meet her. B. She told Uncle Hank and us to meet her before she left for lunch and seemed excited. C. Before she left, she seemed excited when she told Uncle Hank and us to meet her for lunch. Or D. Telling Uncle Hank and us she seemed excited to meet her before lunch when she left. And you can pause at the end of every question so that you have time to answer it. Question number 2. Directions. Drag the quotation marks into the correct locations within the sentence. How is sentence 12 correctly punctuated? Okay, so you have a quotation mark here. You have to decide which of these 4 boxes it would go in. It might go into 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, or all 4 boxes. You have to decide. Zach just smiled, so I said, box, sure, that would be great, box. Though I was still thinking, box, about the movie studios, box. Question number 3. Which revision of sentence 14 uses the most descriptive language? So let's go back to sentence 14. As the door slid upward and our eyes adjusted to the light, I was surprised. So, which revision of sentence 14 uses the most descriptive language? A. The door moaned as it gradually slid upward, and as our eyes adjusted to the dim muted light, my jaw almost hit the floor. B. As the door slid open and upward slowly, and our eyes adjusted to the light, and then I was really very shocked by what I saw. C. As the door opened upward and our eyes adjusted to the light, I was dumbfounded. Or D. The door slid upward as our eyes adjusted to the light, and I was amazed. Okay, again, you can pause to answer this. Question number 4. Which correction should be made to sentence 21? This one's head was on the floor, and Bill walked right into its open mouth. A. Change ones with an apostrophe to ones. B. Insert a comma after floor. C. Insert has before walked. Or D. Change its to its with an apostrophe. Question number 5. Drag the correct answer to the box. Which word replaces detailed in sentence 33 to make the meaning most precise? Okay, so you have the word detailed in here. You have to choose which of these words would be the most precise replacement of detailed. Following that, we toured the model shop where detailed miniature models of spaceships, submarines, and a medieval castle were standing in various stages of completion. So your choices are specific, intricate, particular, thorough, and exact.